So in today's video we're going to go over a load of hiding spots, and these are going to be great for anything to do with infected or even prop hunt, which literally comes out today, so I thought this would be a good time to do the video. But just before we get into some Black Ops 6, I just want to take you right back to COD 4. Do you remember all the glitches we had in COD 4? This one here was like on back of Crossfire. I know a lot of people watching this probably didn't even play Call of Duty 4. I think this game came out in like 2007, 2008, so it was a long time ago. But if you remember any classic glitches, let me know in the comments below which one you remember most. For me, if I think of a glitch, I straight away think of this one on Crossfire, because you could literally just walk out the map. They never patched this through all the years of playing Call of Duty 4, and honestly it was a fun time of glitches, because nowadays they patch them within a week, and well, sometimes within a week. But let's get into some glitches that still work, and there's a lot of spots in here that are not glitches, just more like regular spots that you can hide in, but maybe you didn't know about. So hopefully you learned something, and let's get into this. So starting off on Derelict, there's a tree here that you can just dolphin dive straight into, and you can just you just land on it, and you do have to get a bit lucky for this one, but you aim for that spot I went for there, and you can kind of just land on this branch, and you can stay on this branch, you can shoot it, and it's not the best spot, but you could surprise a couple people with this if you manage to get it at the start of a game pretty quickly. It's quite a high traffic area, so not the best one, but still a cool little glitch. So just as a different perspective on this, I've actually got my other account in the tree, and you can see it is not the best cover wise, but at the same time, if you were just going to like be shooting here and you were going to get surprised, you wouldn't see them straight away, right? So it's not the worst place. Once again, probably not the most useful, but a cool little thing you can do that not a lot of people seem to know about, because I've not seen anyone do this in game yet. So next up we're going to go over to Hideout. Now Hideout actually has quite a few spots I want to show you, so let's get into these. First one's going to be over on this car here. You just need to get onto the back. This one is by no means amazing, but for a little hiding spot it might work. If you just hit it like that, you kind of land up on here, and it's kind of odd. It's not really the best of places to be, but you can actually like weirdly crawl around the edge like this, and even go like right around this edge. Now, I'm not saying this is a good place by any means, and I'll get another angle of what this actually looks like. So as you can see there, this probably isn't the best place, but are you really going to expect someone to be led up here? So the next one's going to be over towards like on a mid-map, and if you go to this little barrier looking thing, for some reason it's not been like fully textured and like made right, so you can kind of walk into it. As you can see, you kind of disappear. If you go prone and you turn around and get quite a nice kind of angle on yourself here, you can't really be seen that easily. I will show you this from a different angle. Now, I'm not saying it's the best spot, but that is pretty well hidden if you don't have a skin on, this pink like this one. As you can see, my ult count is in there right now. So the next two are both in the corners of this little thing, one being here and the other one being on the mirror side just there. So if you hop into the window right here, you can actually just kind of jump into the corner, and you do actually step on here. Now if you turn around where you're stood up, you will fall down. If you go prone and then spin around, you can kind of sit up here and just chill. And you can do it on the mirrored side, or like the diagonal mirrored side, the same kind of thing, but I'm not sure how useful that will be. But in terms of wanting to hide somewhere, it might be useful, right? This video is all about doing like hiding spaces, and as you can see on the other side, it's exactly the same. You just do the same thing, you can spin around, and I will try and do this all on the auto count, because I kind of want to see how interesting this looks to be sat like this. Some of the prone animations in this game just go crazy. So looking at this right now, it's really not a good hiding place at all. But maybe you could catch someone off guard, and it's a spot that I don't think a lot of people know exists, so I don't even know why he sat on, to be honest. It's like a completely hidden wall, and it will be exactly the same here as well, but at least there's like a pipe you can look like you're sat on. What the hell is that? And another spot quite similar to the other one where you can kind of go into the wall. This like bit here has also not been fully textured properly, and you can just kind of wriggle yourself into this kind of, I don't know, stage, I guess. And if you do it right, you can kind of get a good angle on yourself to not really be seen, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's quite as good as the other spot, because you can't quite hide yourself fully. I'll show you from a different angle here, but as you can see, you are pretty well hidden. So I think this is just about the best you can get it. If you kind of turn facing away of like your actual character, you can kind of see the leg poking out, but without the name tag, it would be very, very difficult to tell as a person. Like if you're at this angle here, and if you're not really looking, there is no way you spot that leg. Final one I'll show you on Hideout is literally you just hop on top of this, and then you can just get on the roof, and then if you just run and jump to here, you can stand on this gate. Now I'm not sure why this gate here, it only works to like this, so only this section you can kind of walk along to here, and once this is one of them spots that it's not even useful, to be honest, but it works, so I thought I might as well show people, right? And if you go in prone, you can turn around quite easily. I think you can actually do it in standing as well, but interesting spot. I mean, maybe you'll catch someone off guard if they walk through this door, but it is not useful for anything else really. So what I want to show you is actually like a route that you can run, or like a flank rather than a secret spot or anything. But if you're playing prop hunt or like hide and seek where you need to get away from people, this is a route that not a lot of people will know that you can do. So maybe you can catch someone off guard. But if you actually run and jump and you hit this kind of right, and you can hop over this fence really easily. So that is a really good flank, and there's also a B dom here if you are playing domination. You can also run right around the back of here. I know there's a couple glitches that used to work on this map, so I thought I'd try and just explain something on this map still, because I do like this map a lot, and although these things don't seem to work anymore, let me know if they do and I'm doing something wrong, but I have tried it a lot and it doesn't seem to work now, so I'm thinking it's been patched. If you do run and jump and this kind of wall here, you can hop on top of it. You don't have to be out of bounds, but you can crouch here, or you can even go prone here, and you'll have to get someone to come to like this point here to actually see you. It's a pretty good hiding spot. You can't do anything else rather than this. You could actually use this as a bit of a head glitch maybe, but most of the time you just want to sit still. So now onto Extraction, another new map. Now there used to be a spot once again where you could jump from here and land here, and you could kind of walk along to like this area, but you couldn't go any further than like there, and it was a good spot, but I have tried this a lot, and I think this one has also been patched. Correct me if I'm wrong, I might be really bad at jumping, but I've tried over 50 times and I've not been able to hit that, and I don't think I'm that bad. And a good hiding spot for this map is if you actually come to these kind of areas here, you can actually hide in these quite well. If you like go prone and you kind of turn right to the edge and turn around, you can hide in these really well, because the sea levels actually work perfectly on this game. They actually like go up and down, and honestly, the whole physics of the water actually really good. And I'll just show you here in like a different view. Let me just crouch on my auto count. There we go. And as you can see, when the water is actually in, it's very hard to see someone. As you can see, like, it does disappear. Obviously you poke your head back up and it is a bit iffy because sometimes you can't breathe under there, but most of the time you're pretty covered. And just another one I want to mention, this is not really a secret spot in any way, but make sure you use this, right? On this map, the main place that people like to sit is this airplane right here. Or it's not an airplane, it's a helicopter. And make sure you just use this jump spot to like flank them. You can literally run all the way underneath here, hop onto this top bit, and then shoot, jump this, and then just kill them. Because I absolutely hate this spot. It is almost not counterable, and that is like the only way you can really get here without getting shot. So use that. Next up, you can actually get on top of this hedge. Now, I'm saying this because you can't really get on many hedges on this game. If you actually just run, dive over, or just jump out, you can do whatever you want to do. It's not like a good hiding spot really, because you're not like far down anyway. If you could fall in this hole, it would be unbelievably good. But it's something different, because on this game you can't really hop on hedges or in hedges very well. So when you can actually do something with a hedge or like a bush, then you've got to like mention it, because it's just rare. And another one on Extraction, which is probably one of the best ones on this map. Actually might be one of the best ones in the game right now. If you come on top of this like van looking thing here, and you hit a dive into this area, just like this, you kind of land right in there, and you can just lie up here. It is really good. There's a bit of a buggy bit where you can't stand up if you turn around because you go a bit too high, but if you if you hit the dive and just stay prone, you are very set here. Looking at it now, it probably isn't as good as I first thought, because I kind of thought you were lying flat here. But yeah, not a bad spot still, I guess. If someone walks in, they're not going to see that someone's led there. But yeah, interesting one. And another one that probably shouldn't be in the game, but is. So if you come over to the far side on Nuketown here, and you just hop over this little wall, and you jump down onto this little pillar, you can kind of reverse a little bit and just sit there. You're good, and the timer does not keep going. As you can see, I have died a few times here, but this is not a bad spot to hide. I know that if you go in the water underneath here, you are out of bounds, so I don't think a lot of people would check this spot, and also you can lie down. And now I've come over to the other side of the map, so this is like this side, and you can do the same thing on the little pillar, I guess I can call it here, but this one actually doesn't have any out of bounds on it. You can do the same thing on this one here as well. Oh no, you can't do that one there, just this one here. But once again, it's a decent little spot, but nothing crazy, because you can kind of see underneath this one a lot more. And once again, I know I'm doing a video on kind of secret spots and more like hide and seek spaces, but I have to show this off. I just find this one here. If you drop down onto this one, look at the head glitch you get into this building. You can crouch in that. This is like on full height, and that is such a good head glitch. I'm going to use that in some search and destroy games, because that is really nice. If you spawn on this side, you can hold this angle so well. And finally on Nuketown, we have this little spot. Just by this boat here, if you just jump over, I know there's a lot of water on this map, but I think of all the spots in the water, this one's probably the most hidden. You can just drop down here, and you can just kind of crouch here instead of actually going in the water, and you drop into the water, and you're pretty safe. Like, I don't think you're going to get seen very easily at all here. There's not many angles people can actually see you from. So now we're onto Vault. Now on Vault, there's a few places you can hide that are okay, and there's not a lot of like glitches in this, but in terms of hiding places, there's a few. So most of them have to do with bushes, just just like this one. Most areas on this, so once again I've said this before, are out of bounds. You can't really go in any bushes, but for some reason this one allows you to just walk all in it. So this is probably the best place to hide on the map, to be honest. You can just go right in the corner here, lie down, and you're pretty well hidden if you don't have a very light skin on like I do. And as you can see, they're not the easiest to see. If there's no tag above that, it is very, very difficult to tell someone's in there, especially if you're at the same level. Look at that. Pretty well hidden, right? So if you come over to this area of the map here and look at these kind of trees and bushes area, you can see that there's a few, like, you can actually get behind a bit of this. Like, most of the time, once again, you get like out of combat, but you can hide in this bush quite well, and there's also like this bush here you can hide in, and you can also get behind this tree a little bit if you just sneak around and do this. It's not like the best hiding place, but in terms of being out of bounds and no one expecting you to be here, it might actually work. Also, this one's probably the best you can do, and I recommend if you are trying to hide in a bush, looking away, because if you look away, so like if you're in this one, for example, you look that way, because it turns your whole body going that way, so it's kind of flat as this bit here, and like the longer bits are facing that way. So it's probably the best way to hide if you want to try and hide. You can't really see that anyone's there. It's quite a difficult one to see, I'd say. So it's a decent spot, but once again, you got to make sure you lie down and then like look this way. So now onto Scud. These two vehicles here can actually be crawled under. You can actually crawl right underneath this one. Not really the best hiding spot, but this one here is a little bit better due to these like bag things being here as well. So you can go right into this corner, and it is not a bad hiding space. Just be careful because sometimes it does get a bit dodgy, hence these dead bodies, and you can die underneath here. I'm not sure what causes that, but you can die, so just be careful. The next one on Scud has to do with all these rocks along this edge here. You can see they're not the best, I will admit, but if you get the kind of tilt right on your character model, then you can kind of hide quite well, as long as you have the right skin on. You can do this in a lot of these rocks, but then none of them are like that big, so they're not like perfect cover. And a fun fact about this map, if you actually die out here to like the out of bounds, you don't just drop to the floor, you actually blow up because there's like mines everywhere, which is a pretty cool little thing they told Dad. So now on to Red Card, the best map in the game. If you come to the back side of the map right here and you jump onto this and you just jump over this fence, you can actually go here and just in front of this like truck or lorry, you don't even get any out of bounds timer. You can just do what you want here for a little bit. You can move a little bit like forward and backward as long as you're in front of this truck. As you can see, your combat area thing will pop up. But what's also quite interesting is you can make this run from here to over here because of this timer. You can do it without it, but it is very, very tight. So next up we have Protocol. Now if you get this ladder on this side of the map and you hit the jump right, you can kind of land in this tree and you can kind of sit there. Once again, it's one of them ones that you're not really going to use very often, but as a hiding spot, it's pretty good, right? You can't really be seen, and I'll get that from a different perspective so you can see how it's actually like. So as you can see, it is not the best spot, but at a certain angle, say if you were over here, you wouldn't really see anyone unless if there was no like name tag there. So as a hiding spot, it's pretty good. Come over to this helicopter area, you have this rock. And for some reason, this rock is completely playable. It's not the best of hiding places because you could probably be seen if you're like, you need to be prone behind this. Maybe it'd be okay, but I just wanted to say this rock is very, very playable on there. There's no out of bounds on the whole thing unless you fall off. So if you go to this side of the helicopter and there's another rock here, you can actually jump right down here and just play this as well. So both these rocks are really, really playable, and that's the first one we looked at, and this is the second one. There's no out of bounds for any of it unless you jump right off like that, but with this back bit right here, it's a pretty good spot. First spot just by this tree here, but this tree is like real weird. You can kind of get inside it, but you fall out pretty quickly. I've never found it to be that good of a spot, so I don't really want to mention that one. But what you can do is if you actually come to this little bit, you can kind of walk behind here. If you go prone and you can just hide behind this tree, it's not an amazing spot, but when realizing that you can't really stand in this tree very well, I realized that you can actually go off the edge a little bit here. And that kind of leads into the next one. If you come over here, probably the best spot in the map if you want to be hiding is an out of bounds spot. So if you just drop down next to this like little hut thing and you just drop down here, it does say you're out of bounds, but if you go into prone, it doesn't put you out of bounds anymore, and you can kind of move about quite a bit. So this is probably the best spot on the map, to be honest. So now we're on to Skyline. Now if you hop across from this little balcony onto this little I don't know, like top of the glass window, you can actually hide in this corner pretty well. You can walk along most of this as well, apart from this last pane doesn't let you, it just kind of dips you through it, so don't go that far, but a decent little spot to hide. I don't think these spots are brilliant, but they're not the worst. If these have like the glass intact, make sure the glass is intact if you actually want to do this, and you kind of step over real slow, and you can kind of drop down behind this. And if you go to like prone and stuff, you can kind of hide behind this plant pot reasonably well. I don't think you're very well covered at all, but I just wanted to mention that one because you can also do it over this side and slowly just walk. You just kind of sit on the outside ledge of this. It's not like that good of a hiding place, but maybe someone can use it to their advantage. Last one for Skyline is going to be in this little bathtub right here. It's actually a good little spot for shooting people as well. But first of all, you can just lie in here and be pretty well hidden. You can't really be seen unless someone actually comes over to it and like actually looks at you. And then what you can also do, if you face the back of it like this and you go prone and then you turn around, your whole the whole model gets pushed up. As you can see, it's like this level, and then if you spin, it gets pushed up. And this actually works as a pretty damn perfect near head glitch. You can get shot because your feet are on the outside of it, but by the time someone walks through there, sees you, they're not going to decide to shoot your feet before you kill them. So it is a really good spot to hide, and a really good shot to actually hold a hardpoint here, because there is a hardpoint on this point. And the final one is going to be on Vuta. And then once you get up here from there, you just want to reverse a bit, and then you want to try and run and dive. And if you hit the dive right, you can just like kind of land up here. It doesn't work if you just mantle, but you have to dive now. And then you can work all the way along here. So you can play all of this pretty much, and you can also watch out the window. And you can also go right up here and run all the way along here. And I'm surprised still that this has not been patched, but to be honest, right now this is probably one of the best spots like glitch-wise in the game, because there's not many, to be fair, and for this to be a glitch that's still happening like a month into the game, crazy really. And that comes to the end of the video. There's quite a few spots there for you to try out. Let me know if you learned anything from the video, or if you have something you want to teach me. Let me know. I can make more videos. I don't mind learning things, so just comment it down below. Let me know what your favorite spot is in here, and if you actually use any of these regularly. Honestly, the newer games make glitches really hard, because they put so many barriers in place. It's good that there's a few there still, but it would be nice if there was just a few more, you know, because all the older games, there used to be so many like cool little glitches you could do. I know they were kind of game breaking at the same time, but once again, I always wish there was a few more. But cheers guys, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do what you feel like doing, and thank you for watching, and peace out for now.